Good morning to you, and welcome back to today's JRPG Weekly Update Extra Edition. Oh my gosh, guys, the Nintendo Direct that was recently announced was also just shown, and it was pretty dang good. There were some things that obviously I'm not gonna talk about, Madden, but okay, the details are still very new, and I don't have them all written down, so this is not gonna be a very detailed reaction to the Nintendo Direct, but I do have some initial reactions that I wanted to record and just sort of talk a little bit about. First off, there's the two clinchers, of course, that the Nintendo Direct finished with from Square Enix. It looks like they've got a couple of HD 2D projects in the pipeline. The big one is obviously Octopath Traveler 0. Not 3, not something else, but Octopath Traveler 0. I first tried this like, oh, this is the third. No, this is apparently like a prequel. The trailer started off with like an in the beginning there was this thing, and anyways, it looks like it's gonna lead into the later events of this world, I guess. I think it looks really cool. The trailer is pretty, and honestly, I think that the exciting thing here is to know that despite the acquisition of Acquire, I think, by, what was it, Kadokawa? Despite that acquisition, Square Enix still has all of the rights and licenses to do stuff with Octopath Traveler and the HD 2D thing. So that is very exciting, and I guess we can continue to expect to see more Octopath Traveler in the near future. But there was another HD 2D project that they announced just prior to that, the action RPG something. I don't remember its name. I'm gonna look it up real quick. The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. Oh man, okay. The Adventure of Elliot. The Adventures of Elliot. I guess there are multiple adventures. This looks really cool. It looks like this character with the red hat. He looks like maybe a red mage, like what you would classically think of as a red mage. But apparently he's an action-oriented, I don't want to say bard, but he's got the big floppy hat with the feather. He feels pretty bardic, and he's got swords. He's got a fairy companion named Faye, the fairy companion. Apparently, it's gonna be useful for like a 2-player mode, which is exciting as all heck. 2-player co-op action RPGs are few and far between, and this HD 2D aesthetic just it's distracting me now that I've got the trailer replaying over here. The battles that you can play in, they showcase him using a sword, or also using like a bow and arrow that like splits into 3. It just looks so fun and impactful. Oh yeah, the chain and sickle. That's a weapon combo that I always have like been really intrigued by and really want to see it used in more video games and stuff, but it never gets put to use. But now it is, and they have this other thing, this Magicite system that you can equip to like enhance your weapons and abilities in different ways. Magicite sounds really familiar. Is this connected to like the world of Ivalice? Because I think that the last time I remember hearing about Magicite, I might be wrong about this, was like Final Fantasy 12, or maybe that's just a more generic Final Fantasy or Square Enix term. I don't know, but it looks super cool, and I'm very excited. I'm honestly probably more excited to play this one than Octopath Traveler 0. But they both look pretty dang exciting. The Adventures of Elliot in particular. There were some other really cool things going on at the Nintendo Direct though. I mean, obviously it kicked off with the, is it turn-based? I'm not sure. I never actually ended up playing Monster Hunter Stories, but Monster Hunter Stories 3 has been announced and showcased, and it looks beautiful. It's coming to the Switch 2 at some point, I guess. But yeah, I don't really know a whole heck of a lot about this series, except that it is an RPG by Capcom, and I, historically speaking, really enjoy Capcom RPGs like the Breath of Fire series. This is a poor substitute for Breath of Fire, though. Capcom, come on, buddies. Come on, could you please just showcase maybe like a Capcom Breath of Fire collection HD, please? I have a video asking Capcom for all kinds of things. You can check it out over here. By the way, if you're not familiar, I did recently announce that I'm gonna attempt to take this channel full time, and your liking, subscribing, and all those comments and everything would really be very much appreciated in helping me achieve that goal and continuing to feed my family. The next one that they kind of showcased was the Katamari Damacy sequel. I don't even... It's a new game in the Katamari Damacy series. It looks super cool. I mean, it's Katamari, and it looks like if you like Katamari, you're getting more of that. More of exactly what we already kind of knew and loved, with a little bit of like cousin customization. There was also some dance stuff, but we can skip that. The new Dragon Ball Z Sparking game looks pretty sweet. I mean, the whole motion controls that they shoehorned in there, I'm probably not gonna ever touch that, but the whole like story mode looks pretty cool, and the fact that you can do the alternate, that was one of the things that I always really liked about, what was it? Was it Budokai 2 or Tenkaichi? I can't remember. It was one of the early PlayStation 2 titles though, where like you could do things different from the story and like watch another scenario play out, like where Cell absorbed Krillin. Yeah, that was, I think, one of my favorite things from back in the day, and to see that you can now kind of do your own off the beaten path sort of thing, it's pretty sick. I might have to, I don't know, I might have to check that out at some point. And then they're like bringing back Plants vs. Zombies, which is actually a mobile iPad game that I actually used to play when it was new. I know I'm aging myself in real time here when I talk about it, but I actually really enjoyed it. So seeing that coming, I'm probably not gonna buy it, but it looks neat, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Actually, here's another one I didn't expect to think looked good at all, but here we are. The new PacMan. The PacMan world, it looks like kind of a Mario style game, and I'm not like a big PacMan kind of guy. There was that recent game though that was like dark universe Pac-Man, and that was pretty cool. But PacMan World Re-Pac 2, yeah, that looks kind of neat, honestly. Like kind of gimmicky, but also like there's a dearth of like quality 3D action platform games, so that one looks pretty neat. Square Enix also then showed off their Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. I always thought it was Ivalice, but maybe it's Ivalice, I don't know. The announcer called it Ivalice Chronicles, and the fact that it's fully voice acted, we already kind of knew that this existed, but I guess this is just confirmation that it's coming to Switch 2, and it still looks just as good as when we first found out about it. Definitely going to be looking forward to that on September 30th, 2025. The date just popped up right now as I'm like rewatching through the trailers and everything. So that's pretty cool. I'll try to have, things here that over here that show like the dates that things are supposed to be coming out. Atlas was not absent. They actually showed off their Persona 3 Reload is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, which is pretty exciting. I really enjoyed my time with Persona 3 Reload, so to see it coming to the new platform, I think it's going to be a really solid fit. Looks like it's running really well, and that is exciting. I kind of was hoping maybe that, you know how the Nintendo Switch original was announced kind of like very shortly or almost in tandem with SMT5. I was kind of thinking maybe this would be a good opportunity to do a little teaser of SMT6, maybe. Might be nice, but it doesn't look like that happened this time, unfortunately. Oh yes, there was this other interesting looking game. Yeah, never mind. I'm not really into the Hyrule Warriors things, but they did announce that there is a Hyrule Warriors. I mean, I think it's just a new trailer for the Hyrule Warriors we already kind of knew about. I could be wrong. I haven't been following it very closely, but it's a prequel Hyrule Warriors that leads into the events, the canonical events of Tears of the Kingdom title. So that's neat if you're into that sort of thing. I wish I could speak with more authority on this. It looks like it's running well. I'm just not well versed in it. I'm like here for the, I'm a casual Zelda enjoyer. But I'm sure for all of you who are like really into Zelda, Agent of Imprisonment here, you already know all the details and I've been on all of the message boards talking about it already. After that, there was, this was, I didn't expect to care about this one either. Chillin by the Fire actually is just released today. It's just a little fireplace, fire on the beach sim. Something about just a fire, like a campfire, and stoking fires, just appeals to the inner monkey brain in me, and just is like, ooh, fire, yes, stoke fire, good, yes, place stick next to fire to dry stick, and then place stick on fire to make big fire go. Like part of me is just like living vicariously through this trailer. Oh, you could put fireworks on the beach. You could do it in rain or snow. Yeah, that's pretty neat. They showed off the camera. I don't know if I'm into using the cameras. I feel like this is personally more of like a single player experience for myself. Maybe it's just because the cameras were like way too big. The little circles of the people, like they look like giant floating heads instead of like people, like compared to the size of the fire, unless it's like a really tiny fire that you're building. Oh, the new Star Wars game actually looked pretty cool. I don't know if this is a new announcement from Ubisoft. It's Ubisoft. It's Star Wars Outlaws. I honestly couldn't tell you. Is this a new game? Is this a re-release? I don't know. It looks cool. I like the fact that the protagonist looks like she's straight out of that, original trilogy. She looks like she's straight out of like 1980. She looks kind of like Sarah Connor. But this one actually got me pretty excited, even though I'm only a casual fan of the Yakuza series. I've only played and reviewed, go check it out, Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon. And I need to play more. And maybe I will if I do succeed in taking this channel full time. But Yakuza Kiwami 2, that is essentially, I think, Yakuza 2, because I know that Yakuza Kiwami is the original, it's a remake of the original Yakuza, but Yakuza Kiwami 2 is a remake of Yakuza 2, I think? Anyways, it follows the original Dragon of Dojima, Kiryu. Go check that out. And apparently, they showed the big trailer for Kiwami 2, but also confirmed that Kiwami 1 is also coming to the Nintendo Switch too. So that's pretty cool. On November 13, 2025, thank you, trailer, for showcasing that at just the right time. But yeah, if you're not into the Yakuza series, it's goofy. It doesn't take itself too seriously until it does, and then it sucker punches you with a gut punch of like emotional damage that you're just not prepared for. and then you go goof around between main story things. It's pretty sick. I like it a lot. Let's see. They also showcased a mix of different things. The main one that caught my eye in this like showcase of a bunch of different games was the fact that the new Romancing Saga 2. Yes, Romancing Saga 2 is coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2 also. It looks like we're gonna have a few really good reasons to finally upgrade to a Switch 2 if you haven't already, played a lot of these games. I was kind of expecting that this would probably showcase a lot of, hey, these popular games are now coming to Switch 2. So yeah, if your Switch previously had been your only real source of like being able to play games, then this is a really exciting Nintendo Direct for you. But if you've been playing games other than on Switch, it was probably a little bit of a mixed bag. But really, my big takeaways for excitement here, still, I led with them at the beginning, they finished with them at the end of the Nintendo Direct, and that is the Adventures of Elliot. The Adventures of Elliot, my boy. For people who get that reference, thanks for being around here. But yeah, The Adventures of Elliot looks so fun. And the new Octopath Traveler, I feel like I know a lot of y'all are going to be more excited about the Octopath Traveler thing. They showcased a trailer that has, the classic people running from right to left. Gotta love that. Single file. Friends march single file. True friends march single file. Okay, guys? But otherwise, the rest of this trailer, a town set aflame. It's all teasers for like the individual stories that are going to be told throughout the new Octopath Traveler. And what more could you... Oh, wait, there's a town building mechanic? I missed that the first time around. That's cool. I think a lot of you remember that I'm a sucker for town building in RPGs. Rebuilding the world, in fact, is kind of like a big thing that I really enjoyed in Soul Blazer and the Dark Cloud games. Go check out those trailers if you want. Maybe Octopath Traveler 2 is going to feature something similar, but definitely town building, and that's cool. And that's coming in December 4. Yeah. So, yeah, that Nintendo Direct was a lot of fun. I know this is rambly. I'll try to streamline this information in the JRPG Weekly update this coming Saturday? Yes, Saturday, JRPG Weekly update. I'll try to streamline it down, and I think Baku and I are going to really just deep dive a lot of these more in depth on the Sunday night hit point. That is the JRPG News podcast that we have had weekly for, well, mostly weekly, for the last 3 years now. We've been going at it for a while. Go check that out. Sorry, I'm just so excited, and I got so much going on, and I had another video I was gonna put out today, but I'm doing this instead because this is cool. Tomorrow, I'll have another video out for you talking about how I am finally getting into using my Steam Deck in 2025 after all this time. It's pretty cool. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everyone.